Why does rsync use delta transfer for local files? I have a big ISO image which is currently being downloaded by a torrent client with space reservation turned on. That means, file size is not changing while some chunks in IN4 MIB are constantly changing because of a download. At 90% download I do the initial rsync to save time later. Then, when the file is fully downloaded, I rsync again. Speedup equals 1 says delta transfer was not used, although 90% of the file has not changed. Target dir is on another FS and copying takes several minutes. Why don't I try to speed up the transfer? How can I force rsync to use delta transfer?
According to the man page, Susie is right. Whole file. The transfer may be faster if this option is used when the bandwidth between the source and destination machines is higher than the bandwidth to disk, especially when the disk is actually a networked file system. This is the default when both the source and destination are specified as local paths, but only if no batch writing option is in effect.
The straightforward answer to this question is use the no-W flag to force delta compression, no matter local or remote. Update: it looks like there is more to the story. The delta compression seems to be enabled only between receive and transmit process of rsync. When outputting the file to the file system, sync may still write out the whole files, even with delta compression on. See Wakan Tanker's investigation here. Update 2. The in-place option writes only the changed parts of the file. However, note that it conflicts with sparse and is not recommended by the manual when the destination file is being used.
By default, rsync first creates a new copy of the target file and then replaces it, for various safety reasons. You can override this by specifying in-place along with no whole file. This tells rsync to do an in-place edit of the target file, accepting the various risks, typically minor for this situation, as documented in the man page.
By default, sync creates a copy of the file at the destination and then atomically replaces the original with the new copy. This is done for safety reasons. What you're looking for is the in-place option, which will cause rsync to modify only the portions of the destination file which have changed relative to the source. For the OP's use case, I recommend turning off pre-allocation as well, so that a sparse copy can be synced, which will be much faster. For downloads, don't worry about fragmentation unless you're using a very ancient file system like FAT. Media files in particular are not read at the maximum performance of the storage media, so defragmenting them is a wasted effort. To copy your downloads directory sparsely to the destination volume, I recommend these flags and operations, in this order. The first pass will copy new files sparsely to the destination. The second pass will update existing files in place, copying only the changes. Since it's doing sparse and in-place delta copies, you can run this repeatedly without incurring much extra I/O. Even if you have 20 torrents running simultaneously, it won't amplify the writes at the destination, or thrash the source/dest volumes.
If you want to push above that 7, please consider subscribing.